We're going to keep it going with some of the performers. This next guy is a very good friend of mine. Actually, last time he introduced me on stage, he forgot my name despite the fact that I've known him for 4 years. As much as I desire revenge right now, I'm going to keep it professional and just bring up my very funny friend, Beecher.
All right, thanks, guys. Give it up for Kevin. Kevin is wonderful. Pointing out that I'm a horrible host. I really am a bad host. My name is Beecher. People look at me right away. They always have some questions. Some people tell me, Beecher, you kind of look like Jesus. I've gotten that. I used to have a lot of jokes about how I look like Jesus, but I stopped telling them because there was a guy at a show, and he was sitting up front, and he had his arms crossed, was not laughing the entire show. Very bad body language. Comes up to me after the show, and he goes, "Hey, listen up, buddy. Listen up, Beecher. Okay? You don't look anything like Jesus because Jesus was white." Yes. Very awkward. I'm like, you know what? That's wholly inaccurate. I could give this guy a history or a geography lesson, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to be professional. I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to walk away. So as I'm walking away, he goes, "You know what? You don't look anything like Jesus, but I'll tell you who you do look like. You look like one of those Geico cavemen." I kind of do look like a Geico caveman. So, comedy, stand-up comedy is so easy, even a caveman can do it. People always ask me my ethnic background. That's a very popular question. So I'll tell you right now, my mother is actually Hispanic, and my father is black. Yeah, so nobody knows why I look like a Jew. It's a weird look that I have. I was at a job interview recently, and I was discriminated against. Yeah. I was applying for a job at UPS. I figured I could drive the truck, make the deliveries. And the guy interviewing me says, "Beecher, you're more than qualified for this position. But I'm just not going to be able to hire you because your beard makes all of the packages look suspicious." It's true. Now, if I put a package down on my own doorstep, I would call Homeland Security. I know what I look like. People ask me a lot, like, "Beecher, do you want to have kids?" And I've always wanted to have kids. This is a clean show, so this is weird. I do stand-up comedy a lot, so it's not that I have like some sort of urge to curse. I don't. But usually I talk about some pretty like racy stuff. So I want you to know I very much toned it down for the children. So I'm going to talk about kids and stuff. Kind of keep it bubbly. "Hey kids, how you doing?" What's up, kid? This kid's rocking back and forth like I'm not even speaking English to him. "Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, how you doing, buddy? I'm waving to you. You can see. I know you can see me." He's like, "Nope, not talking to that guy. Don't talk to strangers. Hey, how you doing?" Why did the teacher have her eyes crossed? Because she couldn't keep track of her pupils. That one was for Kevin Fitzgerald. People always ask me, like, if I wanted to have kids, and I do want to have kids. Kind of abstractly. But I've grown up, and this is true. When my father had me, the year that I was born, my father turned 50. Like, that's pretty old. I've known since a very early age that I have plenty of time. But what happens is, if you have kids very late, there's like a large gap. Like, my father's old enough to be my grandfather. So there was like a kind of like a generational gap. And growing up, like all of my friends, I remember this, all my friends we had in third grade, these remote-controlled cars. And like that was the hot toy. Everybody wanted a remote-controlled car. We would race them at recess. And so I was like, "Dad, I want a remote-controlled car so bad." And so instead of getting me what I wanted, he got me the gift that he wanted when he was in third grade, which was actually marbles. Yeah, kids used to play with marbles. And I was like, "What, marbles? Like no one wants marbles anymore, Dad." Giving a kid who wants a remote control car marbles is like giving a kid who wants marbles tuberculosis. It's the worst gift ever. I recently did a clean show at the Barnum Festival in Bridgeport. I did the Barnum Festival. The mayor was there. There was a whole lot of people that was over at the hotel, the little convention thing, and a whole lot of folks. And I scared the heck out of them because they asked me to be clean, and I was like, "Sure, I can be clean." So I went up on stage, and everyone's, they're eating their salads. It's very nice. Everyone's all dressed up. And I said to them, "Hey, they asked me to be clean, but then they made the mistake of paying me cash up front." And everyone, like you could hear it get really quiet. And they asked me to do PG material. And so I'm thinking, you know what? I got this cash in my pocket. I'm going to push the envelope. How about if you guys are willing, I'll do a show that's PG-13. And then they relaxed a little bit. And I did a clean show. It was good. I actually just got a new job. I've been doing comedy for 9 years, and this past year, I don't know if anyone's from the Bridgeport area, but I am the new on-field MC for the Bridgeport Bluefish. Yeah, come see the Bluefish play. Basically what I do is I go out on field, and I just have one of these, and I yell at people to try to get them excited. So far, and I've been doing it for about a month, the best part that's happened so far, and I'm dead serious, if you come to the games, I can sign you up for the promotions. If you come to the games, let me know. But the best one, the highlight, okay, we have a mascot, okay, and his name is BB. He's a giant bluefish. And he's like, he's a cool guy, right? He's this cool guy. And he doesn't talk at all, because he's obviously a mascot. And there's a Sunny Days ice cream mascot dash, and I had a 6-year-old. His name was Andrew, little 6-year-old Andrew. We brought him out into the field, so Andrew has to race BB, the mascot, from first, second, third, and all the way home. Okay, and I get everyone's attention, and I go, okay, on your marks, get set. BB takes off early. He cheated. He took off early, and you could see Andrew like, what? BB's cheating! And he starts running after BB, and he goes from first. And BB's got this long lead. He's got these long legs. He trains. He does wind sprints. So he's coming around second. He's making his way over to third, and everyone's like, what? Boo, BB, he's cheated! And out of the stands, out of the dugout, runs Spider-Man. And Spider-Man tackled BB, boom, laid him out like a football player. And you should have seen, like, this kid's eyes. He just went crazy. The entire place erupted. And then he ran past him, and this little 6-year-old Andrew, he won an ice cream cone. And it was like the best moment. It's better, I have to be honest, better than the baseball game. I don't know if you like baseball, but it's kind of a slow sport. We had a game go 14 innings the other day. Do you know how long that is? Neither do I. It's 14. That could be like 10 days long. An inning has no defined amount of time. I actually wrote. I'm going to cheat. I don't care. Take my jokes out. I don't care. I'm going to tell my jokes here. I had another show. I was up at the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island, and I got there a little bit late, and I was hosting that show. And I was hosting for Tom Wilson, who, for some of you, the older folks will know, he was Biff in Back to the Futures 1, 2, and 3. You know Biff? Yeah. So Tom doesn't, and he's a hilarious comic. And actually, the feature is a guy named Ray Harrington. I was the smallest person on the show. I'm 6'3". You had Biff, who's 6'5", and Ray Harrington, who's 6'7". Like, I'm the little guy. So what happened was no one told me to be clean. And so I ended my first set with a horrible joke, very dirty. I'm not going to do it here. Bring up the feature comic, and as I'm getting up there, he goes, "What?" Like, he gets off stage, he's like, "They didn't tell you to be clean?" I was like, "No, they didn't tell me to be clean." He goes, "Well, you need to be clean." I was like, no, I'm fine. I do another horrible joke before I bring up the headliner, and then I listen to his set, and he was squeaky clean. Tom Wilson is completely squeaky clean. I am going to try to end this with a laugh before I get out of here. Going to do my best. The problem is that comedy is really about shock. It really is. Usually it's like something, boom, like you say something that you're not supposed to say, which is not what I'm going to do today. I'm not going to do that. I got one last joke. I'm going to get you all going with this last. It's going to be a killer last joke, I promise you. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy. I have to run out of here. That's probably not going to happen. I'm going to exaggerating. All right, I'll do one last thing here. Look at the paper one more time, Beecher. You can do that. Oh, I think too much. That's true. Okay. This is my last bit. I'll get out of here. Okay. So, my family, a lot of people in my family recently have been saying, "Beecher, you think too much. That's your problem. Your problem is that you're too cerebral. You think way too much." So, I thought about it, And they're right, I really do think too much, but I know why. I figured out why I think too much. When I was in 3rd grade, I fell asleep in class one day, and the teacher decided to embarrass me. And what she did was, she did a problem on the board for everybody. She explained it. And then when I woke up, she asked me the question, and I didn't know the answer. And she basically asked me, Beecher, what's heavier? 5 pounds of bricks or 10 pounds of feathers? And at the time, I'm like, oh, I'm not an idiot. Yeah, feathers are lighter than bricks. Of course, it's 10 pounds of feathers. And the entire class laughed at me. And she let that happen. And so, the reason why I overthink things is because deep down inside, I never got past it. Like, I think every question is a potential trick question. And that's why I'm a comedian. All right, I'm not going to end on a laugh, but you guys have been wonderful. Let's get Kevin Fitzgerald back up here.
Beecher, ladies and gentlemen.